Yeah, I've got a bit of Milliput here. I'm going to mix together for you guys. Don't forget, with Milliput you've got two colours. One's a hardener, one's a resin. Mix it up. Gives you a couple hours to work with. And once you've finished working it, leave it for a few more hours and let it go hard. And when it's hard, it's all ready to paint. So basically just mix it all up here. Basically roll it out. So you can pretty much do what you want with it then. It's great stuff. You want the colour to be consistent right the way through to be a good mix. Alright, what I'm going to do is just give it a bit of a flat rough out. Get all the rough out, try and get it pretty level. I'm going to try just chucking some lines in it. There we go, something like that. I'm going to take the back end of my knife, put some lines in this way. Breaking the lines up, so it's almost like brickwork actually. You guys can take a bit more time over it, get these perfect. Right, and then what I'm going to do is get my base. Just trim around the edge. See why in there a little bit after this is dried up. Right. Pop the base back off it. Perfectly topper there. Alright. Beauty with Milliput and green stuff is you can play around for quite a bit of time and get things exactly how you want them. Get some great little details in there. Gives you a little bit of time to play. It's not as unforgiving as some people think. Do that. Alright. Basically, with whatever tool you're using, just make sure it's either very wet, or the best one to use is Vaseline on it. If you put Vaseline on it, the Milliput or green stuff's not going to stick to everything you have, which is a nightmare. The beauty with it is you can make some pretty funky stuff with it, to be fair, as long as you give it its drying time. Just do that, make it look a little bit rough down there. That. This is just basically to give you a very, very, very brief oversight of what you can do with the stuff, and hopefully this will work towards making a pretty good base. Right. And the next step is to let that one dry for a good few hours. Basically, use yourself a knife, a thin blade even, just to cut under these guys to pull them off the glass. Set them to one side. I use parchment paper. Parchment paper, it doesn't tend to stick to, and you can pull it back off when you're ready to use it. Alright, I'll speak to you in a little bit. What I generally do with anything that's left over, I usually, because I've got a nid army as well, but you could do it pretty much anything. I usually round it up, put it all together, make myself a little ball, and I'll roll these, and do it so it just about stands on its own, just like that. And then what I do is I take the back end of my knife again, and I put 3 little lines in it. Just like that. And I get either a paper clip, or if you've got some tools, some little tools for sculpting, I'll put some little dots kicking around, mainly around the lines. Make it look a bit rough on the joints. And there you go, you've got a little egg there that fits right in on a nib base. Alright, so you can basically make little bricks or stones with it or whatever you want, just to use the excess up, and that way you're not wasting precious milliput or green stuff. Alright, speak to you soon. Of course, the other way to do it is to put them straight onto your bases. If you haven't got any parchment paper, and let them dry on there, and then that way they're sort of gonna be where you want them, and you can actually fine tune them before you stick them and dry them out and everything else. Alright, if you put any little details in, like some little cracks, see if we can get a bit closer, put any little cracks in that you want, some little holes, whatever you like. Alright, anyway, I'll be back with you guys tomorrow just to paint these up, put some sand, some grass, some touches to them, and see what we can come up with. Alright, cheers guys, speak to you soon.